hopefully I get to travel, because I'd love to be able to go see more of the African diaspora like everywhere, and to just sort of like be able to like connect with those people and photograph them. Because I never want to approach people with the like, oh, I'm going to look at you from a distance and take photos. Like most of the people I take photos of, I want to have like a conversation or like know you or like some sort of relationship. And with African people, I feel like we've always had, through time, like we've always been photographed in a way that it's almost as if we're being looked at and not really photographed, you know? We're not people, it's like we're more of like a science fair, or like a project, or like a documentation of like a living species, and not people who have real stories to tell, real experiences and feelings, who laugh, who cry, you know, like it's just, yeah, I kind of want to change that. Like, yeah, real life is beautiful, and I feel like we don't get to see a lot of that. I had always been drawing and like coloring, I guess, in the school, and I didn't really think of it as like a profession. It was just more of like, I like doing this. And then yeah, a few things happened, and I was just like, I'm not going to go to uni, I'm just going to work, and I guess that'll be my life. And my mum was like, yeah, you're not going to drop out, like you have to keep going. And I didn't know what I was going to do, and then she suggested Elam. And then I realized there's an art school, and I was like, oh, I can go to school and do what I've been doing anyway. So I started that in 2016, and I'm still there. Yeah. And then I guess in second year, halfway through, I started taking more pictures, and I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And then it wasn't until third year I just like stuck to it, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to take photos. And cool. Yeah. Cool. I finished my BFA, so I did my honours, and now I'm doing my master's. That's like many people are like, what are you going to do when you finish? Like, that's not a real degree. You're not going to make any money. I think I'd rather go through something and have that sort of be stressful and love it at the same time than like hate what I'm doing and be stressed. It's like, what's the point? I don't know. I would love to work for like a company and do the photography for them, maybe like in fashion or music. That'd be cool. Or just be like there's an artist called Ray who does Travis Scott's photography. Like that'd be cool to like be a photographer for someone. Or just in general, like people always want to like box you and be like, oh, you're this photographer and that. And so like I guess I'm a fashion photographer or a portrait photographer. But I also like documenting like moments. So I'm like, if I'm doing all these different things, then what does that make me? And I don't know. That's why I just like to make stuff and create. Yeah. So I don't really like to call myself because I guess we're always changing. Mm-hmm. I think at the moment I'm enjoying like taking photos of people in my community and the Africans in Auckland, because I feel as though people don't know how many Africans actually live here. And I always get asked like, why am I always posting African Americans or like only black people? Do all these black people live here? And I'm like, yes, just look around. I guess if I'm that one person in someone's feed who's posting consistently some black faces, like people will sort of realize like these people are here and like sort of, I guess, see them. Like I want people to just see us, and like, and I also just want to celebrate and like acknowledge them and just be like, these people are beautiful, look at them. Yeah. You'd get questions of like, you know, why is your hair like this or your skin? And then that's when I guess like in primary I started to look at myself and like kind of be ashamed of being African. And I guess that was just something I was taught because of things kids were saying, and then I just started to look at myself different. And then, yeah, I just didn't want to really be a part of that. And then in high school, I guess I was growing up, and then I think just having social media and seeing other black people and like celebrating that, and other artists taking photos of black people, I was like, oh, cool, you know. This is like, these are people that look like me and they're doing this, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna just be myself and like not care. Moving to West Auckland, which I like grew up on the shore, so it was really different. Like there was more black colored people there, and I guess I was able to like connect with other African people that I had never really hung out with, and then we formed our own sort of like, I guess, friendships, and where I was able to sort of like experience sort of like similar culture again, and like be able to have those conversations around race and like talk about things I would experience being out. And I guess with my family, I was more, I guess, accepting of like wanting to learn more about my culture, because they would teach us and like I'd learn my language when we were younger, but growing up I sort of stopped speaking it as well, because I was like, oh my God, I don't want people to hear me speak my language, and like it's so embarrassing. And I think now I wish that I did it more. We used to have national days, which I think they're bringing back. So I think it's 1st of July for Burundian independence. And I think that was always good because I got to see like the drums and the like traditional women's dance. And I think just seeing that, I feel a bit like, I just feel proud how I can sort of create like an archive, I guess. So I don't really want to say, like just a collection of images that younger kids could sort of look to when they grow up and see how we were all living, and like what being African in Auckland looked like in our time. And maybe create a book or like a publication, that'd be cool. And just, I don't know, just seeing Black people doing well and more in the media, and like more like in boardrooms and things like that, especially like Black women. Like I feel like people really undervalue us. But that's like, yeah, I think that's the reality of it, and people don't realize. And like I think that's what stops things from, I guess, progressing, because people think, oh, because we've done like one little thing, then they're like, oh yeah, that's changed, you know, we've done something, we've added like a slightly darker person in something, that's great. This person's hair is like an afro but not too afro, like we're doing so good. Yeah. I'm slowly like learning that I'm not always going to be amazing, and also trying to like my work, because I think I'm really hard on myself. Well, I've been told anyway. And I'm always trying to find new ways, or like trying to be better, and like never looking at what I'm already doing and like how far, or like what I have done. And I just lose motivation, and sometimes I just don't even know if I should be doing what I'm doing, and I just want to give up. I missed out on opportunities because I was like, oh no, I don't apply, like I'm scared, or like I don't have the experience. Just sort of talking myself down, I think I've been trying to work on. I'm always like conscious about how I sound, or like if I'm saying the right thing. And I think I just need to stop doing that and be more confident in my work, and like saying, hey, yeah, I take photos, or like I paint, I'm a creative, or just, and being confident in sharing my ideas with people, but I think that stems from like just growing up and not feeling like I had a voice. So I think now that I'm older, I feel like I've sort of carried that with me. I felt like I can't really speak. So I think maybe that's why I gravitated towards pictures, I don't know.
BCA was created in 2018, and we are a community collective dedicated to supporting New Zealanders of African and Afro-Caribbean descent. Our community is made up of Black creatives around the country, and our kaupapa is to enable these members to create, connect, and collaborate with one another and other like-minded individuals. If you wish to find out more, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and also on our website www.blackcreativesAotearoa.com.